introduce from EMCO to give tonight's command, Nicholas Newell.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
It's a very fast front row here for race number 4 of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series at Delaware Speedway. On the outside of row number 1, the 15 of Steve Matthews. Second consecutive race, he started on the outside of the front row, still looking for his first series victory. Watch the pole sitter as well, DJ Kennington, a winner a week ago. A victory tonight here at Delaware Speedway will vault him into the championship lead.
This sleepy little farming village on the outskirts of London, Ontario comes to life when the lights shine bright on the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. This half-mile speedway is the mecca of short tracks in Ontario, and a win here is a much sought-after victory. This is race number 4 in the 2012 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. We're at Delaware Speedway as we get set for the EMCO 200, presented by McHugh Supply and Niagara Plumbing Supply. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dave Bradley. Alongside me is Billy Rouse Jr., who has turned many a lap here at Delaware and Todd Lewis's trackside. Race number 4, and let's say it's the one place that everyone wants to win.
Well, that's right, Dave. This half mile is legendary. And to say you've won here at Delaware Speedway is something every racer wants to add to his resume.
And the ownership group here have been busy this spring. They've done some track construction and redesign as well.
Well, down into turn 3, you're going to see a lot more racetrack. But the trick to Delaware Speedway is getting off at turn 2. Up the Delaware Hill, down the backstretch, and there's the new turn 3 right there. We got about 12 more feet of racing, and it doesn't narrow up near as bad coming off at turn 4. Look for a lot of side-by-side action in turn 3 and 4.
And after our last event at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, J.R. Fitzpatrick has a 1 single-point lead over DJ Kennington. Andrew Ranger sits third, and Scott Steckley hopes to rebound after an early race malfunction last time out. And earlier in the day, 22 cars took to the track for the EMCO 200 qualifying. It was local standout, former track champion and former series champion DJ Kennington, who took the pole in a time of 19.281 seconds.
Well, the Castro kid from St. Thomas, Ontario is on a high. Last week, they started at the back of the field and took it to victory lane. Tonight, on the front row at his home racetrack. He's been here since he's 16 years of age.
And we'll take a look at the GCMI starting grid. Outside of the front row is Stephen Matthews. There's J.R. Fitzpatrick and Scott Steckley making up row number 2. Row 3 has Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the 60 and young Pete Shepard in the 7, who starts at the outside. Andrew Ranger in the 27 and Mark Dilley in the 02 make up row number 2. Dilley coming off a second place last time out. Jeff Lapsevich is in the 23, and Jason Hathaway drives the 3. Looking back to row number 6, young Stephen Cote in the 99 and Joey McComb in the 50. Row 7 has Larry Jackson in the 81, and LP Dumoulin drives the 47. Row number 8, Howie Skinnell in the 56, Noel Dowler in the 5. And then we look back to row number 9, Martin Roy in the number 90, and Dave Connolly in the 82. And then row number 10, Hugo Vanini in the 97. Jason White struggled a little bit in qualifying in the 21. He'll start to the outside of row number 10. And the final row here today, Ray Quatermass Jr. in the 29 and Michael Schultz in the 11.
Well, talking to the 21 car, he had a little trouble in practice. This place will sneak up and bite you. It's not that easy a place to qualify at. You've got to get the car to turn the middle. You got to get off the corner straight and hard on the gas pedal to put down a good lap.
And this coming from a guy who raced how many years here?
Way too many, and I love every minute I spend here at Delaware Speedway.
And the fans are in for a treat here tonight as we take a look at the E3 Spark Plugs race analysis. 200 laps the distance, that's 100 miles. Of course, it's a half-mile oval. Last year's winner, Don Thompson Jr., is now retired, and the weather is perfect, 27 degrees and clear sky.
And the neat thing, Dave, we're going to start in the daylight or the dusk, and we're going into the night, and that's when this place really picks up some race pace.
And let's head down pit side, check in with Todd for tonight's Leland lead up to the green. Todd?
The importance of pit stops for the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series continues to grow for these drivers. So much so that some teams are looking for professional athletes. Taylor Robertson plays 9 seasons of professional football. Now he works on the pit crew for J.R. Fitzpatrick. He operates the jack during pit stop and also fuels the car. Taylor's hoping to have another stage of his professional career. He'd like to move to a NASCAR team in the U.S. Just like these drivers doing their apprenticeship, Taylor Robertson hoping to move up the ladder.
And Robertson played for a couple of different teams in the CFL, both the Calgary Stampeders and the Toronto Argonauts, but it is pretty cool to see those two sports starting to overlap. As the cars file in down the back straightaway, they'll make their way through 3 and 4 for the final time under caution. You'll see the 2012 Dodge Challenger SRT pace car pulled down pit lane. It's DJ Kennington and young Stephen Matthews rubbing a little bit off turn number 4. Harry Smink from EMCO with the green flag, and we're underway.
Up through the gearbox for the first time down into turn 1. The preferred lane is right down on the sidewalk, and DJ gets a great drive up off the corner. There, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick pins the 15 on the outside. He's dropping like a stone. The outside will come in, but not in the early going.
Yeah, it's always been tough to find a groove out in the outside lane. You can see everybody else pretty much settled in single file at the front of the field, but the 15 of Matthews will now duck in behind the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Everybody chasing the Dodge, the number 17 of DJ Kennington once again, just like last week at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Of course, he started at the back of the field. He took some time to get to the front, but once he got there, he started to stretch a gap, and look at the gap he's got already.
J.R. Fitzpatrick got back to the power a little bit too early, and the thing jumped out from underneath him, and the 15 trying to take advantage.
Don't count out the 22 of Scott Steckley. Again, mechanical difficulties at the start of last week's race, and now he is on it, tucked in behind the 15 as J.R. Fitzpatrick struggles with that race car.
Yeah, but what's going on, Dave, is this. When we start in the daylight or dusk as we have here, you got to start the car a little bit loose, because as the sun goes all the way down and the track temperature cools off, these race cars will tighten up.
See the battle there for 8th spot between the 3-car Jason Hathaway and right on board with Andrew Ranger, but have to give a shout out to the number 3 spotter. That is Phil Arnold. He hasn't been up to speed. We just wanted to let him know that we're all thinking about him, and hopefully, Phil, get well soon. See you back at the track.
Absolutely. Don't like anybody to be sick. These race car guys spend a lot of time away from their families. Now he's ill. Not a good thing.
But Hathaway digging on the 0-2 of Dilly as they've gone side by side for a number of laps, and Hugo Vanini now down pit lane. 13th in points coming into this one in the Ford Fusion with problems on the left side.
And we'll keep an eye as the crew goes to work on the 97, but the race right now is between the 0-2 of Mark Dilly and the 3 of Jason Hathaway.
And the 23 of Jeff Lapsevich in the Tim Hortons Dodge in there too as we ride on board with the 3 of Hathaway.
A lot of good action back in the field as DJ Kennington continues to leg it out, but everybody is taking a shot here as the 7 locks up the left front down into turn 1.
Pete Shepard, the National Exhaust Dodge, took a look on the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. That's a battle for 5th spot. We look back to this dice between the 0-2 of Mark Dilly and the 3 of Jason Hathaway. There is your leader, the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington.
We're on board with DJ Kennington down the backstretch. We'll have a look as he makes an entrance into that new turn 3.
And that shot, you can really see that hill you talk about coming off at turn number 2 down the back straightaway, and it really is a pronounced hill.
Absolutely. The odd time when you're racing a guy, if you see he's going to go up the hill, you can turn it early and go across, and you'll gain 200 to 300 RPM on him.
Battle for 7th position now as we take a look back from Andrew Ranger to the 0-2 of Mark Dilly. And you can get your name on the number 27 GCMI Nationwide car. All you have to do is donate $27 to the Michael Pinball Clements Foundation and Canada Company. Your name will show up on that car in a future race.
Another guy that's got a ton of laps here at Delaware Speedway is the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. He's raced here on Friday nights for many, many years when I did.
Sitting inside the top 5, and Ron Beauchamp Jr. can use a good run. And in trouble for the 11 car, Michael Schultz from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Lots of smoke from the back end of that Chevy.
DJ Kennington starting to put cars a lap down. That's the 56 of Howie Scannell Jr.
In the Jim Bray Dodge, and Scannell will tuck it to the inside. He's sitting in 17th position, so the 17 car, DJ Kennington, with a torrid pace in the early going. The EMCO 200, the 4th race of the 2012 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, is brought to you by Canadian Tire. Love of racing? Bring it on. By Mopar, authentic performance. By Castrol Edge, our best Castrol ever. And by EMCO, one of Canada's largest distributors of products for the construction industry. good looking fourth place driver, Scott Steckley, now working on the 56 of Howie Scannell, who is a lap down, and Steckley showing some battle scars already.
Well, he got some right front nose and fender damage there on the 22. So obviously working traffic has not gone all that smooth for the 22. The 7 into the back of the 60.
I was going to say 6 cars all playing here. That is for 7th position as the 7 of Pete Shepard goes by the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Now here comes Andrew Ranger.
Andrew Ranger goes down in the bottom of that concrete. I hadn't talked about it much. Oh, contact with the 0-2 and the 60.
That's a big hit for the 0-2 of Mark Dilley, and that car was on fire last week. Not literally, obviously, but he ran a very good race, finishing second in his first time out in 2012. So Dilley looking to one-up that, but hopefully didn't break anything in the right front. He hit hard. Let's take another look at it.
On board, you see the 27 use up the 60 off the corner. 0-2 tries to fill the hole too, and Ronnie Beauchamp comes down and blocks the spot.
You saw just ahead the 7 of Pete Shepard light up that left front as he dove hard, and now this group into lap traffic. The Veloce number 90 of Martin Noir will pull to the inside. Larry Jackson in the 81 up on the outside.
3 wide down the backstretch here at Delaware Speedway.
Really have to mind your P's and Q's when you're picking through traffic here at the EMCO 200. Lapsevich working on the Mopar Dodge, the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Doesn't appear to be anything too wrong with the 0-2 of Mark Dilley, but look at the front hood crumpled on the 3 of Jason Hathaway.
That 3 has got the hood all crumpled. Obviously, he's got in the back of somebody and knocked the hood back 4 or 5 inches. That's got to be pretty hard to see out of the 3 car.
Yeah, you can see the nose a little crumpled on that race car as well. And now we look back to the EMCO Dodge, the 5 of Noel Dowler, who gets a little bit loose in front of your leader, trying to stay on the lead lap. And he will go a lap down to your leader, the 17 of DJ Kennington.
Well, Noel Dowler just trying to keep pace here. He hasn't got a lot of laps at Delaware Speedway, but we got to remember that car is out of the 17 camp, should be well prepared for Delaware.
And he sits in 12th place here today, so really not too bad of a run for the youngster from out west.
DJ Kennington continues to put a schooling on the field as he puts more and more cars a lap down.
It's a battle for 13th position between the 50 of Joey McComb and LP Dumoulin and the WeatherTech number 47. You can see the left front wheel on the 47 actually got up in the air, stopped turning. Is this, Billy, is something they're going to set up for? Maybe, hopefully that'll stiffen up as the race goes on. What's going on there?
That's just, they missed the setup just a tad. You got to keep that left front on the ground. Keep the car sprung and shocked right, because 4 wheels is the way to get around any racetrack.
See a couple cars flash by. The 82 of Dave Connolly sitting in 19th position. There is the Equipment Express Chevy of J.R. Fitzpatrick, who is in second place. He's having a pretty good run, but not up to the standards being set by the 17 of DJ Kennington in the early going.
Well, we watched JR earlier, the car was a little bit loose, and as I said, as the sun goes down, it'll come to him, and the car is not near as loose now. Look at me, he went from the outside to inside, and the car stayed nice and straight for him.
Yeah, that car looks like it's sticking very well, and J.R. Fitzpatrick has a lot of laps here at Delaware Speedway. He's run here in a super stock, he's run here in a late model, pretty much anything with 4 wheels, he's raced it here at Delaware Speedway.
Actually, Dave, he started in a junior cast car here in a little 9-horse thing, and he trounced the field as probably a 13-year-old.
And look at him now.
Absolutely.
There's third place driver, the 15 of Stephen Matthews. He's having a pretty good run here today as we ride on board the driver from New Liskeard, Ontario.
Well, you can take a good look at how the car is working. Just watch his hands. Corner entrance, turns it all the way to the right. Well, he's using a lot of brake. The front rotors are glowing pretty good on that race car early on.
And problems for the 81 of Larry Jackson. He's down pit lane in his 4th NASCAR start. Those yellow wheels that are on that race car, there's a little bit of a story behind that, isn't there, Billy?
Well, Jim Bray made a point to come over and tell us that those were bought from Penske, and he was wanting to leave them yellow, except for Howie Scannell Jr., he wanted to paint his. He didn't like yellow.
They look pretty sharp on that 81 car. Unfortunately for Jackson, trouble in the early going as we ride on board with the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr., who's currently in 8th. But he's got some company on his back bumper. The 0-2 of Mark Dilley is hounding him as Lapsevich takes a fairly high line through 1 and 2.
Corner entrance down into turn 3. Dilly cuts right across that new sidewalk. That new sidewalk's very slick, but it will rubber up as the night goes on.
It's pretty flat too, isn't it, Billy, way down there?
Well, you'd almost call it progressional banking because it's right on the flat of where the grass used to be, and then the banking starts. So you can diamond across there, but you can guarantee the guy on the inside, he's going to use the guy on the outside up.
You're right on board with your leader there. You see the new area of the racetrack to the inside in turn number 3, and caution comes out for the first time here at Delaware Speedway. Reports of debris in turn number 3, so that'll slow the field for the first time, and there it is. Piece of fiberglass sitting outside of the turn, not quite in the racing groove, but it could cause trouble, so NASCAR throw the caution, and there it is. That's the problem, the 22 of Scott Steckley.
Now we're down the backstretch having a look. He's right up tight. Oh, he just drills the 56 of Howie Scannell Jr.
And down pit lane comes your leader and second place as well. Todd?
17 of DJ Kennington has led right from the start. He's making a scheduled stop for fuel. J.R. Fitzpatrick also along pit road. Slight adjustment to the right rear of the Kennington car as well.
Chassis adjustment for the 84. We talked about him being a little loose, and the crews get the bare bond out for the 22.
Yeah, heavy damage to the right front fender, and the 84 is going to beat the 17 out of pit lane, but somebody who didn't pit the 15 is Stephen Matthews. He's your new leader here in Delaware. Welcome back to race number 4, the 2012 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series here on TSN. Restart number 1 here on lap 64 at Delaware Speedway, just outside of London, Ontario. I'm Dave Bradley with Billy Rose Jr. Todd Lewis is trackside, and we're back underway.
Side by side down into turn 1, contact between the 15 and the 84, and they'll drag race down the backstretch, Dave.
And Billy, it's a half-mile track, but it is really a short track, isn't it?
It certainly is. This place is just characteristically slippery. Then they added the sidewalk. This is a neat racetrack. You got to have a ton of talent and a good crew chief.
And J.R. Fitzpatrick putting that talent up front ahead of the 15 of Stephen Matthews, 2 young guns at the front of the field here in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series.
Listen to all that horsepower. Whoa, DJ in a little deep. The back end gets happy on him, but the 3 saves him.
The snap-on tools dodge up on the outside. Jason Hathaway had a little bit of grip there, and 8 tires are better than 4 as they lean on each other, making their way around this racetrack. How about Andrew Ranger in the GCMI number 27 sitting in 3rd?
Not a bad night for the 27 car as he rejoins the series for the full season, trying to recapture his championship form.
His last championship came in 09. Car off the pace. It's the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr., and he's looking for pit lane. He'll find it. Beauchamp down pit road. Todd.
The 60 car of Ron Beauchamp Jr. along pit road to answer the black flag penalty for an illegal tire change. NASCAR official holding him for a lap, and then he will be allowed to return to the race.
So no problems at all. That is good news for the Beauchamp side, but it'll drop the 60 car back deep into the top 20, scoring him now in 18th position according to NASCAR timing and score.
Well, that's bad news on a short track like this, Dave. It's hard to make up a lap here. The crew can't make critical errors and pit out of the box or make an illegal tire change. Just can't happen on these short races.
Yeah, it's a tough day for the Mopar team as the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick starts to open up a little bit of a gap now in the 15 of Stephen Matthews. There's a look back to the car who dominated the first 64 laps here in the EMCO 200, the 17 of DJ Kennington.
DJ with the track knowledge here. Watch how he diamonds the corner out. He'll turn it all the way to the bottom coming off of turn 2.
Andrew Ranger doing a pretty good job, though, for a guy known mostly as a road course expert, but Andrew Ranger has shown in the past he can get it done on these ovals.
Absolutely, and he's watching the mirror quite a bit, too. He took the bottom lane away from the 17, and it worked for the time being.
There's Joey McComb, Martin Dewa, and we ride on board the EMCO Dodge of Noel Dowler. And Dowler looking at the rear bumper of the 50 of Joey McComb, who's having a pretty good run here today. He ran at the Speedway at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park last weekend. Didn't have the finish he was looking for, but here he's looking pretty solid. On board with Ray Cornwallis Jr., currently running in the 18th position. Sticking behind the 81 of Larry Jackson as the leaders make their way around the outside. Now a battle for 3rd spot. The 17 of Kennington moves to the inside.
Kennington finally able to get by the 27. He's being pretty patient because it's still very early in the going here at Delaware Speedway.
No hood left on the Vortex brake pads. Number 3 of Jason Hathaway, but it doesn't seem to bother that race car too much as he tucks in behind the 27 Ranger. There is your leader, the Equipment Express Chevy of J.R. Fitzpatrick, getting around the 81 of Larry Jackson one more time. Jackson currently running in the 20th position. A couple of laps down, Stephen Matthews second, and there is your third place run of the 17 of DJ Kennington. So we continue single file at the front of the field on lap 78. Still a long way to go here in Delaware. We're at Delaware Speedway for the 4th of 12 races of the 2012 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, and Mark Dilley has brought his Leyland BDI Ford onto pit road.
Flat left front on the 0-2 with Mark Dilley behind the wheel, and the crew goes over the wall to make the change, but a huge blow to the fortunes of Mark Dilley tonight.
Absolutely, Todd. You're going to go at least one lap down here at Delaware Speedway changing a tire. We'll go on board with the Leyland car and see what happens. A lot of sparks out of the left front, up out of the racing groove, and Mark Dilley keeps the car out of the fence.
But he missed the entrance to pit lane, and we'll have another look at it. It looks like that left front tire just exploded.
Well, remember earlier on this race, there was some contact in the early going and could have knocked something down into that tire, brake line, whatever. But that's what happens here on these short track races.
There is your leader, the 84 J.R. Fitzpatrick, continuing to put laps, but now he's got heavy traffic just in front of him. Connolly in the 82 up on the outside, trying to get out of the way. The number 90 of Martin Hinois's got nowhere to go as well. They're battling for 15th position here on the racetrack, so they don't really want to give it too much room. However, looks like Martin Hinois is going to come out in front of that battle as the leader goes by on the outside.
J.R. Fitzpatrick legging it out one more time here. He's got that car tightened up nicely. They made a chassis adjustment on the pit stop, and it's working.
Approaching the halfway mark, working lap 99. The 17 of DJ Kennington working on the 15 of Stephen Matthews. That's a battle for second and third. Everybody chasing the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick as we hit the Tim Hortons halfway update. We've had 3 leaders here today, and just one caution has slowed the field for a total of 12 laps. And the top placing rookie so far, young Stephen Cote, who sits in 13th position, once again having a good, solid day, good, solid run here at Delaware.
Wow, we got the 23 car on pit road under green flag conditions. This can't be good.
Looks like all tires are up for the laps of its Dodge, but the jack stand going underneath, so big problems for the Tim Hortons Dodge.
Well, remember back at Mosport, he had transmission troubles, and they got that thing back together just in time for the green. And here we are at Delaware, and one more time, the Gremlins have reared their ugly heads.
Absolutely. Lapsevich looking to run the entire season in the 23, and a battle for second, heating up even more now. Here comes the 17 as they drag race down the back straightaway, and Matthews going to back out of it and give the spot to the 17 of DJ Kennington. And remember, the 15 of Stephen Matthews will be starting to think about fuel here soon. He didn't take any during that first caution period.
Well, it'll be getting a little bit close on fuel, but the other thing, you're taking rear weight out of the car. The car is going to get a little bit loose as we keep going here. The guys up front, they're thinking about right side tires. He's thinking, oh boy, if I got enough fuel, and I'm going to need tires.
That earlier shunt for the 22 of Scott Steckley doesn't appear to be bothering that race car too bad. The Canadian Tire Dodge holding his own right behind the Vortex brake pads. Number 3 of Jason Hathaway sitting in 5th spot as the 22. Ranger in the 27, just ahead of the 3 of Jason Hathaway as the field strung out pretty much single file now, and everybody chasing the 84. It seems once the leader is able to get out into the open air, they're able to stretch out a huge gap. We saw it with Kennington for the first 60 laps, and now same thing is going for the 84 J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Well, once you get out there, you can just hit your marks. You're not worried about cars inside, outside. You're not worried about under braking or over braking going into the corner. You can do your thing. But remember, Dave, race car drivers have to get in a rhythm. That's the neat thing. That's why as crew chiefs, we've never asked our drivers to back off late in the race, because they back off, the car doesn't handle the same. You got to drive it like you stole it every lap.
And these drivers are doing just that. Hathaway all over the back bumper, the 27 of Andrew Ranger looking for 4th. He's got a lap car to the inside. The 90 of Martin Hinois will act as a pick there, and it looks like Andrew Ranger's going to hang on to that spot for another lap.
Scott Steckley sitting right there wanting in on the action, but no room to get the job done.
And you you mentioned earlier on, we start the race in daytime, we race through dusk, and we'll finish it at nighttime. It's starting to get late, Todd.
This is what everybody is aching for. That hasn't stopped yet. Fresh Goodyear rubber. That's Taylor Robertson, who we featured at the opening of the race, the jack man for J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's anxious to go to work as well. He's ready with this jack. And by the way, fellas, he's happy that the concrete wall is lower here at Delaware than it was last week at the Speedway, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Those knees, after 9 years of professional football, don't move as easily as they used to.
Billy almost have to be a high jumper to get over the wall at the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Yeah, it's a long way down. Or a basketball player. They're used to jumping in the air.
22's bringing the 7. 22's bringing the 7 outside.
Good battle for fifth spot. The 22 of Scott Steckley up to the outside of the 3 of Jason Hathaway. And look who is lurking there, the 7 of Pete Shepard, showing a little bit of smoke going into 1 and 2. We'll keep our eye on that. National Exhaust Dodge as they work around the number 29 of Ray Quartermost Jr.
Up the Delaware Hill one more time. Get a great run. There's DJ Kennington trying to catch the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Still no caution, so these drivers praying for that yellow flag to wave, so maybe they can get some fresh Goodyear rubber underneath their race cars. J.R. Fitzpatrick continues to lead. We're working lap 126 of 200 here at round 4 of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. We're on board the number 17 Castrol Edge Mahindra Dodge of DJ Kennington. He's now caught the 84 Equipment Express machine of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Once he broke free of traffic, he ran him down in a hurry. And there he is right up underneath the back of that 84 Chevrolet.
Both these cars sliding around again. Neither one stopped for tires. They got some fuel during that one caution period, but Billy, historically this race has really had a number of cautions really scattered throughout the race.
Yeah, this is different. The crew chiefs are probably scratching their head right about now because you can have so many different strategies. Come to pit road after lap 50 for fuel. Come to pit road after halfway and put tires on it and run it to the end with track position. But tonight, she's been mean and green for the most part, and now they got to be wondering when they can come to pit road and get them fresh Goodyears.
Looking out the front windshield of the 5 of Noel Dowler to the 21 of Jason White. The A&W Dodge having a great run here today, sitting in 8th position, quietly working his way up from the back of the pack. Remember, he had that poor qualifying effort, started him at the tail of the field, but he's continued to march his way to the front.
The 21 and the 5, both out of the St. Thomas shops of DJ Kennington, but the kid right there, Dowler, doing a great job, logging laps, staying out of trouble, and learning this racetrack. He's going to be tough the second half of the season.
The left front brake rotor glowing on the 22 Canadian Tire Dodge of Scott Steckley as he moves around the 27 for 4th place. And here comes the 7 of Pete Shepard, going to plug that hole as well. But Shepard is a lap down because of an earlier stop and go.
But Dave, the 22 and the 27 have been going at it lap after lap, and here's a great look at that battle right here, side by side down into turn 3. The 27 gets a little loose. The 27 can't get the hammer down, and the 22 can't fill the hole.
A pair of former champions in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, getting close, almost touching each other, but a lot of respect between those two drivers as the 22 battles with the 7 again. Shepard a lap down to those race cars, and now the 3 of Hathaway looks underneath the GCMI number 27. 5th spot up for grabs.
Well, the 27 car getting a little bit loose up off the corner, and these guys are taking advantage of it. Dave, we got to be starting to think about tires. These guys got to be screaming. I remember being a driver, I'd be screaming at that crew chief, I need tires, and I want some tires now.
And the crew chief not listening, just not even acknowledging you on the radio, right?
No, he just, hey, dig some cheese out of your belt buckle there, Weiner.
139 laps in the books. These guys definitely need some right side Goodyears as Andrew Ranger loses that spot completely to the Snap-on Dodge. The 3 of Jason Hathaway. This is the battle for the lead, though. J.R. Fitzpatrick has had it for quite a while. The 17 of DJ Kennington hunted him down and is now on his back bumper. You remember, Kennington won last week at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, picking up his first win of 2012.
The 22 and the 15, that's side by side. The 22 will take the 3rd spot.
And Stephen Matthews will duck in behind. He doesn't have fuel or tires in that Ford Fusion, so he's just babying it, hoping to get that caution.
Well, it's a real crapshoot to figure how far these cars will go on a 22-gallon tank of fuel. But I'll tell you, Matthews will be able to tell us that later after this race is over.
Just watch Matthews' hands. Watch how that car is handling. It's actually not too bad, considering he's run that length of distance without any new tires.
Well, the tires and the fuel load. We talk about the balance of these race cars. When you get down to almost 3 or 4 gallons left, there's not a lot of rear weight left in these race cars.
Field fanning out down the back straightaway. Jackson way to the inside. There's Howie Scannell in the 56. He'll tuck out of the way of the leader. Says, we got problems now. Car around the 5 of Noel Dowler will weave his way through the smoke. That's the 21 of Jason White. He was in 8th spot when this happened, and there is the caution that so many drivers were looking for. The orange cone tucked underneath the front valence of the 21. It pops out. The 21 will get going, but we'll have another look at it.
Well, down into turn 1. Wow, he was out in the outside groove and just a hair too far up in the gray stuff, and around it went. He did a great job getting on the throttle and keeping that car to the fence. Here's another look. Oh, a little help from a teammate, as they say.
And that's on board the 5 of Noel Dowler. You saw him get into the back bumper of the 21 of Jason White. That's the reason for this caution, and it's pit stop time.
Well, Dave, the drivers have been doing their job. Now it's time for these guys on pit road to shine.
Well, Todd Lewis is standing in the midst of all this action. Todd?
Everyone making their stop for scheduled 2 right side tires. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick gets a bottle of water from his team as well. The 17 of DJ Kennington also making his scheduled stop. A lightning fast stop by the 84 team.
And high fives all around. You see Andrew Ranger getting right side tires. Scott Steckley's crew goes to work in the split screen. And now Steckley down and away. They're waiting a little bit before releasing the 22 Dodge. He's stuck behind the 27 of Ranger. So your leader off of pit lane will be the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick after that quick pit stop. Matthews now in second.
Welcome back to the EMCO 200 at Delaware Speedway. Following a lightning-fast pit stop, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick reported a problem to the crew, a broken left front brake line. He's coming directly into pit road slowly. The team has discussed how they're going to get him stopped. It's the crew that's going to have to do the labor to get him stopped. Now back him up into the pit box. They're going to get the hood up and try to change that left front brake line as quickly as possible. A terrible break for the 84 team.
Well, depending on what part of the line broke, Dave, there's flex lines go from the chassis into the caliper. It's a very easy and quick fix. And then they got to bleed the brakes, refill the fluid. But right now, bad news, we're going back green. They're going to lose a couple laps.
And worse news for the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. He was your leader. The new leader is now the 17 of DJ Kennington, second place driver, the 22 Scott Steckley, as we get back up to speed.
Down the backstretch one more time. DJ legs it out again.
The 3 of Jason Hathaway having a dynamite run here today. He got into a little bit of trouble crumpling the hood early on. They ripped that hood off, and it doesn't seem to bother that car. He's holding his own. Again, another car with damage. This is the 22 of Steckley, the 15 of Stephen Matthews, just in behind those 2 drivers, but everybody chasing the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington for the second week in a row.
While DJ Kennington, watch his line in turn 3. He has just given the whole bottom of the racetrack away. He's staying off that new sidewalk. Down into turn 1, right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Diamonds it off and drives that Castrol Dodge down the backstretch.
And it is a dash for cash. 38 laps to go here in the EMCO 200. The battle for second heating up. We got a car around the number 90 of Martin Noir. He spins, and that'll draw another caution.
Wow, caution again, Dave, but this is going to set up a Saturday night shootout here at Delaware Speedway Park.
And it looks like the 7 of Pete Shepard did get into the back of the 90 of Martin Noir, and that is the reason for the caution. And repairs complete for the 84 team.
Well, they've done a great job, Dave, but they are 5 laps down.
All the way down in 16th position. There is your leader, the 17 of DJ Kennington here in the EMCO 200. Some of the best stock car drivers are lined up and ready to get back at it here at Delaware Speedway as they settle in for the 3rd restart of the night here on lap 167. So getting down to the nitty-gritty here in the EMCO 200, DJ Kennington will lead it back to green.
A lot of action under the lights here in the EMCO 200 as the 17 continues to lead down the backstretch.
Scott Steckley trying to hang on the outside. He will not, and he'll slot back into second, or will he? The 3 of Jason Hathaway will poke a nose and slide it up into the door of the 22 of Steckley as they continue to battle.
What did I tell you about the sidewalk. The guy in the bottom certainly using up the guy on the outside, and that's what's going on right now. They fight side by side one more time down the backstretch.
Lurking in behind those two as they battle side by side. The 15, Bill Matthews Motors Ford Fusion of Stephen Matthews.
Really slick down there in the bottom on that new sidewalk. Hathaway got a whole handful of steering wheel.
It really helps if you're up about a half a groove from the bottom, doesn't it, Billy?
Well, Dave, that's where the old asphalt and concrete meet, and that's the quick way around, right around the middle of the corner.
And Matthews has got some company. The 27 of Andrew Ranger, the GCMI Dodge, moves to the outside. Here's a good look at Noel Dowler in the 5 and the 02 of Mark Dilley. And Dowler will wiggle a little bit, and here comes Dilley. Dilley's back up into 9th spot after having that earlier problem with the left front tire.
Well, Dilley with a Dowler still trying to learn the racetrack. But Dowler in that EMCO car having a great night.
And remember that 02 car shared between Kerry Mix and Mark Dilley here for the 2012 series. Kerry Mix will be back when we visit the next road course during the Western Swing.
As we ride on board with the EMCO 5, I got to tell you, he's got a crew chief by the name of Chris Wright. Chris comes to us with a lot of experience in the Nationwide Series and the Truck Series, and Kevin and Noel are just super happy to have him on board.
And Noel Dowler doing a pretty good job here in the EMCO 200 at Delaware Speedway. Still can't quite catch the 17 of DJ Kennington, who's opening up a gap once again ahead of the 22 of Scott Steckley.
Well, as the racetracks cooled down, a lot of these guys really got a hold of it, and the homeboy, DJ Kennington, has really got a hold of this racetrack as he stretches it out.
See a glowing right front rotor on the 17 of DJ Kennington in a car around the 56 of Howie Skinnell. This will draw the caution, so the trailers ride Jim Gray. Dodge does a loop, and this will pack the field once again. We'll get another chance to have a look at this one and see what sent Skinnell around, and it looks to be the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Well, they're all stacked up there. JR is several laps down, and the 56 had to go around.
And no doubt the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick a little bit frustrated after having those mechanical difficulties. Howie Skinnell make a quick stop down pit lane, check things over, but we will go back to green with that man, your leader, the 17 of DJ Kennington, once again in top spot. The number 17 Castrol Edge Dodge of St. Thomas, Ontario's DJ Kennington leads the EMCO 200 presented by McHugh Supply and Niagara Plumbing Supply. We're working lap 176 in the 21 A&W Dodge of Jason White, the VTEC Free Pass winner. He's now in 6th position, 1 lap down as he catches up to the field, and we get set for the 4th restart of the evening.
As Jason White gets caught back up to the back of the field, the action's about to pick up as we go green one more time.
And we talk regular Saturday night shootout with 40 laps to go. Now we're under 25 laps to go. Really, business is going to start picking up on the front of the field.
Well, if you got anything at all, you better get it out there and lay it on the table, because right now things are going to get exciting.
And Hathaway resumes that battle for second underneath the 22 of Scott Steckley. He looks to be able to get up to the left rear tire, but can't quite complete the pass as we run on board with Jason Hathaway.
Well, the 22 car not had a real clean night. He's had a lot of exciting things going on around him. But just remember back to that battle with the 27. How big a toll did that take on the tires to win that battle?
That's true. They battled pretty hard for so many laps. How much did they wear out their cars? 20 laps to go here in the EMCO 200. DJ Kennington not able to open up a gap as easily as he did the last number of restarts. He's got Scott Steckley, the defending series champion, right on his back bumper.
You watch the two cars, though. Whoa, a lot of smoke out of the 15. Something broke on the left front of the 15 Bill Matthews Ford.
And that left front wheel is tucked underneath for Stephen Matthews. The smoke continues, and he knows something's up. He's looking for the inside of the racetrack. Going to let the leaders go by on the outside, but tough break for the youngster out of New Liskeard, Ontario.
He was having a really good night. Let's have a look what happened. Gets a little bit loose up off the corner. The 7 gets into the back. Down into turn 3 they go, and the tie rod or something broke. The left is tucked up underneath, and he's got to take the thing to pit road.
Riding on board with Stephen Matthews, and you can see him fighting that wheel as it breaks.
What a frustrating night for the 15 crew. He had a great night going, really. Look at the car, clean as a whip.
Oh, there's no break. Bring up. One more spot. One more. Stop.
talking to the crew, but it's going to be a little difference at this point. They'll try and fix it, keep him out, getting as many points as he can, but again, a tough blow for the driver of the 15. And back up at the front of the field, the 22 and the 3 continue to go at it. The snap-on dodge to the inside, and once again takes a look and might have rubbed the 22 of Steckley a little bit.
Well, before that 15 incident, I was about to tell you, look how straight the 17 stays up off the corner and how crooked the 22 gets. The 17 legging it out, and that leaves the 22 back fighting with the 3 of Jason Hathaway.
But when these two drivers are fighting back and forth as they are, DJ Kennington's going to be looking in his mirror saying, I can pick any groove I want, and I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to say see you later.
Also, Dave, he knows the racetrack. That's a given. But he's got 2 guys in the radio. Dave White, the crew chief, and Alan Pinsino, the spotter, telling him, just hit your marks. Nothing coming from behind. No worries. Just take the mirror and don't even bother with it.
Good look at the EMCO Dodge, the 5 of Noel Dowler, once again continuing inside the top 10, sitting in 9th position. Started all the way back in 16th, so quite a productive day for the sophomore driver.
I've been watching him off and on all night long, and every lap he seems to get better. Also, I keep telling you, but that car also comes out of the DJ Kennington stables.
And there's another car that comes out of the DJ Kennington camp, the A&W Dodge, the 21 of Jason White. He had the problems early on, a spin, but he's in 6th position, poised for his best ever oval track finish in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. And you know what? He's had a really good year so far this year with Brian Ellis calling the shots as his crew chief.
Well, Brian Ellis, he's been a crewman. He's done pretty near everything on these race cars, and he's learned his craft quite well, obviously.
And one race this team is looking forward to is the A&W 300 at Motorplex Speedway in Vernon, BC. That is Jason White's home track, and he's looking to put on a show this year.
And also, rumor has it his brother is going to join in for the race there in Saskatoon.
Absolutely, it should be a great show. 5 cars on the lead lap here in the EMCO 200. The 7 of Pete Shepard is back on the same lap as your leader, and now he's battling with the 27 of Andrew Ranger. 2 drivers who have been hit by pit road penalties over the course of this race.
Well, all kinds of action throughout this whole field tonight, but right now it's all about DJ Kennington stretching that lead out in that Castrol Dodge.
And for the first time in a long time, the 22 of Scott Steckley has been able to open up a gap on the Rockstar Dodge to number 3 of Jason Hathaway. There you see it's almost equal distance between your leader and then from 2nd place back to 3rd. And then from 3rd on back is where it gets pretty busy.
Absolutely. Take a look at the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's just logging laps now, but he wants to show everybody that he did have a car to contend with tonight.
A little bit crossways is the 7 of Pete Shepard as he tries to diamond off the corner to make a run on the 27 of Andrew Ranger. And you're right, the 84 is showing his strength in the late going here in the EMCO 200 at Delaware Speedway just outside of London, Ontario. But so far, nobody has anything for the Castrol Dodge, the 17 of DJ Kennington. He continues to lead, looking for back-to-back wins in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series.
4 laps to go here at Delaware Speedway in the EMCO 200.
And now the 3-car of Jason Hathaway able to open up a little bit of a gap as this battle heats up for 4th position between the 27 of Andrew Ranger and the 7 of Pete Shepard. Both cars on the same lap. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick, as we mentioned, not. He is a number of laps down to the race leader. And there he is, the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington. Again on cruise control for the 2nd week in a row. 2 laps remain this time on.
Well, he'll be hearing every bump, every noise inside that Castrol Dodge, but he knows his kids at the shop put a great piece together, and he's just marching it to the finish line.
He worked around Ray Cornemos Jr. in the 29. He'll see Dave Connolly in the 82 just ahead of him, and he'll see the white flag this time by. 1 more lap to go here in the EMCO 200. DJ Kennington will check his mirrors through 1 and 2, and no, he has nobody behind him. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Scott Steckley sits in 2nd, but he's in no position to mount the challenge. Off the 4 for the final time, making 2 in a row now for the 17 of DJ Kennington.
Wow, what a strong outing for the kid from St. Thomas, Ontario. Steckley comes home 2nd.
In his backyard, and we'll go down to Todd.
Dave White is getting high fives from the team. What an unbelievable car you had again tonight.
Yeah, the Castrol Edge Dodge was hooked up, that's for sure. You know, it was a good race. I got to thank the guys. It's a great night, and good one for Castrol here in our hometown.
They're off to celebrate win number 13 with their driver, DJ Kennington. We'll talk to him when we come back.
from St. Thomas, Ontario, has pulled his lightning-fast Dodge into the winner's circle, and Todd's waiting for him. Todd?
All right, ladies, he can hear you. Let him hear you.
The driver climbs out of the car at his home track at Delaware Speedway. This is the third NASCAR victory here at Delaware for DJ Kennington, who gets a big smile and a big hug from wife Jamie. And that smile continues. He had another strong car tonight. Back-to-back wins.
Telling you, it was a really good car. J.R. Fitzpatrick had a great car, though. I mean, I hate to see that for him. You guys were going to see one hell of a race between him and I. I mean, he had a good car, and we had a good car, but congratulations to my race team. I mean, they're just awesome. Castrol Edge, Hendra Tractors, Brian Cathcart, Mopar Dodge, everybody that makes this happen for us. It's everybody knows that we can't do it on our own. And, oh, man, my dad, once again, did it under the hood. He's just amazing. And I just got to thank everybody that helps this race team, because without all you guys that help us, we wouldn't be here, and I just appreciate it really much.
DJ Kennington, second win of the season, and another dominating performance by the Castrol Edge team.
13 career NASCAR victories moves him to second on the all-time list as we take a look at the top 10. Jason White coming home in 6th place. Mark Dilley rebounds for a 7th place finish. How about Joey McComb and LP Dumoulin inside the top 10 as well?
Absolutely. Great to see that 47 car continue his top 10 performances.
And Todd standing by with your second place driver. Todd?
Scott Steckley, a nice bounce back after some troubles in the last race, a second place finish here at Delaware.
Yeah, it was good. The car wasn't the best, but we managed through. The pit crew did a great job adjusting in the car throughout the race to get it better. Just got to thank Canadian Tire, all their sponsors, all their fans for coming out, and we'll get a win for them soon yet this year. Thanks.
With that solid finish, the 22 of Scott Steckley now 4th in points, 24 points back of your new points leader, DJ Kennington, who's 13 markers up on Andrew Ranger. J.R. Fitzpatrick has tumbled back to 3rd. 6th place on the list, the 3 of Jason Hathaway finished 3rd.
Podium finish for Jason Hathaway. You had some concerns early. You had to rip the hood off and try and get some air into that radiator, but a nice result.
Yeah, for sure. A little camera time, that won't hurt us. But, yeah, we got mixed up with a brake check earlier. Had to get the hood off it, but it was a good run. Good run by everybody. It was a good run up with Kennington and Steckley. I mean, you can't ask for two better guys to run up front with. So it's a good day for Rockstar, Vortex, and Snap-on, and everybody's happy. We're heading home. See you in Vernon.
Thanks.
All smiles for Jason Hathaway in front of a hometown crowd, but there is today's winner, DJ Kennington, the top step of the podium. This NASCAR race on TSN has been brought to you by E3 Spark Plugs, born to burn. By Mahindra, the world's #1 selling tractor. And by TW Steel, big and oversized watches.
Well, a great night of racing as the Castro Cruise celebrates another one. That's 2 in a row.
And the next race will be the first of the Western Swing, the A&W 300 from Vernon, BC. From all of us at TSN, we'll see you there.